Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? JT here with another Xtrades FOMO live stream. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me get my screen sharing started in the Discord. All right, YouTube looks good. Discord looks good. Everybody in the chat looks good. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Happy Thursday. It is March the 6th. Let's get into it. Let's talk about what we're seeing here on ES. We'll go through our trade plan recaps. And then, of course, we'll get to some new trade plans that we're going to do live here on the stream together. So, what is this signal that I keep getting? Your stream's current bitrate is higher than the recommended bitrate. I don't know what that means. Hang on. Current bitrate is too high. Okay, I gotta go fix that somewhere. I'll figure it out later. I don't think it's actually hurting anything, but apparently my new laptop is too powerful for YouTube. So I feel like that's what it's telling me. All right, so yeah, what's up, Navy Plum? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. What's up, Trading Dad? Good to see you in the mix. Ernesto, what's up? Good morning to you. All right, so what are we seeing here in the markets? Obviously, we're seeing insane amounts of volatility. Anybody who traded through the first Trump presidency, no real surprises by any of this. Look at BABA today. Sure, yeah, we can take a look at that, Trading Dad, of course. As I was saying, what are we seeing? We're seeing extreme volatility, lots of uncertainty. Market doesn't know whether to go up, down. The one thing I guess it does know it should be doing is going left to right. We saw kind of a weird, I would say, interesting relief bounce yesterday that, anybody that was in the chat and paying attention, I pretty much said immediately that that was going to get faded because it was, again, algorithms kind of picked up on, I think, the words tariff delay and found out that it was like specific to automakers only. And, nothing has really changed in regards to the overall tariff picture. So not surprised to have seen that move yesterday get sold off. But as you can see, I mean, we're establishing a range, but we make very extreme moves up and down within it. So that range being this 58.70, I would say, upside resistance in this 57.40 level down here. I did take a look at some older price action this morning. We are in a demand zone right now, which I think is what is helping keep the market from absolutely seeing the bottom fall out at this point. But when I say the bottom fall out, I mean, it's not going to go down infinitely. But before we see the next leg down, which again, just to reiterate, the level we talked about on Tuesday, I'm looking at this 56.22 75 level kind of being one that, or nope, sorry. That is not 56.22. I lied. 55.61, 50 being, pretty much where I would expect us to try to bounce if and when this 57.40 level does give way. So 57.40 being that key support on futures for the time being. Keep an eye on that. If we're holding it or if we're near it, we could bounce. If it gives way, I expect to see, again, another leg down, likely taking us all the way down to 55.61. There's not a lot of, I would say, really well-established support and resistance anywhere between 57.40 and 55.61. It's not going to be a straight move down, but I would expect it to be a fairly rapid move to the downside. So, just some stuff to keep in mind as we look at ES futures here. All right, let's go through our trade plan recaps. I did, and I probably shouldn't. We'll just talk about it real quick. I mean, nothing's really changed. We already identified on Tuesday that our NVIDIA trade plan has hit all of our downside targets, but let's just touch on it again real quick. I don't want to technically skip over anything. So, our NVIDIA trade plan, like I said, we talked about this on Tuesday, already has all downside targets hit. Did see a little bit of a bounce back up into PT2 for puts yesterday, but that's rejecting, and it seems to be pushing back down again this morning with the rest of the market. So NVIDIA continues to look fairly bearish, as you can see here on the hourly. NTS kind of bearish across the board. 200's also now crossing below the 333 and starting to get some real downward momentum going there. So that's another thing to keep on watch. Don't like to see those crosses happening on these higher time frames like the hourly and above. So keep an eye on NVIDIA, probably for more downside would be my guess in the near term. But who knows? Trump could get out on a microphone tomorrow and say, you know what, I realize that all these tariffs are a really stupid idea and it's only going to hurt the United States at the end of the day, so I'm not going to do it. I don't think that'll ever happen, but it's not impossible. If it did, market would go ape shit nuts and rally. So you never know. But that's what we're seeing here on NVIDIA. Is ultimately I'm expecting more downside and overall bearishness on the momentum on that one. Tesla also from the member selected trade plans from over the weekend. Again, this one we talked about Tuesday, playing out for downside. It did finish getting all of our targets, tried to rally back. All that turned out to be was really a back test of that put entry level. If you decided to reload your puts on that move right there, this rejection down took you all the way to PT3, pretty much right at or right after the close. Got another opportunity to exit there yesterday. So a very, very quick payout on that Tesla back test of the put entry that ultimately rejected down and took us back down here to this 269.41 level. So Tesla, all the downside targets hit, very similar to NVIDIA. Google's been trying to hold up. Interestingly, as kind of the rest of the market has struggled, Google seems to be showing some relative strength here. Has given us a few breaks to the upside. Gave us a nice bounce there yesterday off the stop loss average down level. Pushed up nicely off of that level. Back above the SMAs. SMAs are kind of coiled up and adding some support here inside this bullish flag here on the 15-minute. Let's take a quick look at the hourly. Starting to break things on the hourly, although I think I'm going to go back and check my dynamic volatility adjustments. I think that this flag should still be in place. So give me 1 second. Let me just make a quick note of that so I can check the calculations here. And I noticed something on Tesla chart too. So anyway, Google, I think it needs to give us a really good confirmed break over this 173.50. I think it will then try to push up through some of these remaining target levels, but I do like how that stop loss average down is holding, is looking pretty good on smaller time frames, and like I said, showing some good relative strength compared to what the markets in general are doing. Apple, this is one that we did on the live stream Tuesday, and this one did or has played out, I should say, yesterday to the downside. PT1 for puts came back up just above the put entry, seems to be trending back down toward PT1 for puts again here this morning. So keep an eye on Apple going into the day today. As long as it's holding below 233.64, we could see this one continuing to push down. Don't forget, we've got a good confluence overhead here at 238.62 with a potential stop loss average down 333 SMA, bearish flag confluence. So 238.62 looks like a really good opportunity to load some shorts. So I could conceivably make a case for, if we're below 233.64, go ahead and essentially short or play for weakness, play for downside. If that for some reason doesn't hold and we do get a push up to 238.62, add to your position as long as that resistance holds there. Otherwise, cut the trade and then look for some of these downside targets to hit on Apple. But Ford here has just been kind of sideways in our range, so nothing really to see here yet on Ford from our live stream plan that we did on Tuesday. And then Crowd, this one we did Tuesday. It did try to push up, broke to the downside along with the rest of the market, I'm sure. Interesting backtest rejection here going into the trading day yesterday, and backtesting and rejecting again coming down to PT1. So crowd definitely showing some signs of bearishness, and could, I was going to say, it kind of looks like it could be a good short entry. Yeah, you could kind of tweak this plan and look for a confirmed break below, what is that, 357.75. Put your stop at, what is that, 366.72. First target there at 349.59. I've made some adjustments to these labels that I'm going to publish because I don't like how they're kind of displaying how small they are. So anyway, we'll take a look at that here in a second. All right, so let's get to our new trade plans this morning. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Brandon. we are very fucked on that in that regard. Hey, what's up, Rockstar? Good to see you. Good to have you back. Hope you're doing well. All right, so let's get into some of these new trade plans. I've got Baba on the list. For those of you who have joined us on YouTube, feel free to say hello, say good morning. Let me know if you've got a ticker request. I'm happy to take a look at those. We're going to do some trade plans live together here right now. So let's go. I get my coffee in. And sorry for my, I feel like this chair, which is a very comfortable chair, has become incredibly squeaky over the last week. So I gotta go get, I don't know, probably some graphite or WD-40 or something, and deal with this thing. But I love this chair, so I'm not gonna buy a new one. I'm gonna figure out how to get rid of this squeak. So my apologies if you guys keep hearing that in the background. All right. So let's take, what's up, Chris? Good morning to you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Let's take a look at what was the first one we had in the mix from Trading Dad, Baba. Alibaba. Let's see. I was going to say, oh, look, it's ripping through that old trade plan, but that's not. Those are levels from something else. In fact, I want to remove that version of it. Let's bring back. There we go. Those labels look a lot better. All right. So, Alibaba, what do we want to do with Baba? Let's clean this up real quick. Kind of a messy chart. Don't like messes. Man, I've really let this one slip. Big time. Sorry. Let me get this. I promise it'll be worth watching me clean this mess up when we can look at a chart that's just a lot easier to read. All right, cool. Been a while since I've worked on the Baba chart apparently, so let's organize these into a folder. And then we'll be good to go. All right, let's rock and roll. Whoops. All right, Alibaba. Spastic movement, so very typical Chinese stock, but China does seem to be picking up some steam and some windfall from the U.S. kind of disrupting its position as a good global trade partner. We are starting to look like a very bad trade partner, which is not ideal. All right, so let's take, okay, we're on the 4 hour already. So again, with these Chinese stocks, the tricky bit is they gap all over the place because they are heavily traded outside of the U.S. market hours. This is a really interesting level, though, that I'm seeing across a number of time frames that I like for a potential downside entry here. So let's get this one marked on the chart. $200's coming up here. So I think we're coming down. What is this? Sorry, let me just get my bearings real quick because Baba. Okay, no, we're pretty far from. I didn't think we were. I was kind of wondering if this was kind of a potential high that we were testing, but there's still plenty of price action overhead, which I thought might be the case, but I just wanted to make sure. Again, Baba's not one that I track very often. What's up, Sam? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. What are we looking for? Please screenshots on how to access TV in Xtrades app. Yeah, Chris, see what you can do to help out our friend there. All right, so sorry, Baba, we got our entry. First price target, I'm liking probably, yeah, this, I could go either way. Let's be, let's take profit early and often. If you're looking at this one, what is that, 136.57 level. First PT, second price target, definitely going to be near this test of the 200 SMA. Down there at 133.66. Third target. Again, these charts are a little harder to read, but I think I'd be looking for, if I'm reading between the lines here a little bit, and it could be just a little bit higher too. 129.66. So those would be our downside targets with a stop loss average down right here at 145.33 on Baba. Upside, do have a weekly level just overhead there at 148.34. The question is, does that open any real upside potential, or do we need to wait and be a little bit more patient? What's up, Dennis? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Glad to see you in the mix here on our YouTube feed. All right, so yeah, where does the upside entry? This is an interesting rejection that could open up a move to 151.03. Question is this just a one-off, or is this an established level that we can use? Again, these Chinese candlestick charts, a little harder to read because of the the heavy trading outside of US hours. I think that's all that we're gonna have to go back way too far, I think, to try to find any additional or useful price data. So I am seeing some signs that this is a good, valid level, not just picking it because of this one rejection. So let's take a shot at it. Like I said, I think that opens up a move to 151.03. That's an interesting little quick double top there. Yeah, there's a rejection on that same level. A little bit of flipping of support to resistance. It could really be either of these two levels. I'm going to go a little bit more conservative here at 155.01. Second price target. Third target, yeah, I think takes us up to probably 159.96. So the only question now, I think I've just answered it. Where is our stop loss going to sit? I think I like it sitting right here at 144 flat. All right, so let's lock in our trade plan navigator levels. So we've got 146.86, 151.03, 155.01, and 159.96 with a stop loss at 144. The downside, we're looking for a break below 141.91 with targets at 136.57, 133.66, and 129.66 with a stop loss average down at 145.33. Not a shared stop loss on that. So this is what our trade plans look like. And we can even hide these drawings. There you go. That makes it a little cleaner. All right. Here is our BABA live stream plan. And let me get this posted over in the Elite chat. All right, so let's talk through this real quick. What are we looking for on BABA? Oh yeah, also let me grab my link, copy message link, so I can set our alerts for our Discord. Boom. Perfect. We'll let this one go for a week. BABA live stream 3/6/25. All right, so what are we looking for here on Alibaba? We are looking for a break above 146.86 to play this for the upside with targets at 150.103, 155.01, and 159.96 with a stop loss average down at 144 flat. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 141.91. That should give us targets at 136.57, 133.66, and 129.66 with a stop loss average down at 145.33. Those are your BABA upside and downside trade plans. Let's go. All right. What did we have next? I thought I saw American Airlines in the mix. Let's see, there's BABA, good morning. Yeah, Israel, American Airlines. Let's take a look at it. Do I want to say, yeah, let's save this BABA plan actually before we, we'll put this in the 4 spot. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. So let's get to American Airlines. Let's see what we got here. Hide this. Let's clean up this chart real quick. Boom, boom. This one's going to be much faster. I hate that how TradingView does that. I need to figure out why that's happening. Like, won't let you select all of your horizontal lines at once. You have to select a couple and then merge them into the group. All right, so let's see what we've got here on American Airlines. Man, this one's pulled back pretty decently. All right, let's take a look at this on some higher time frames. Below our SMAs, 200 curling down. They're still overall bullish, but both actually starting to curl down. All right, American, where does this become interesting for downside? Tested this 1297 or near it recently. Currently up here around 1386. Okay, just getting my bearings real quick. Yeah, I think somewhere right around in here, 1345, 1342. Yeah, that's a pretty key level, and we're very close to it. It could be a good buy the dip level if you want to, if you like American Airlines as a longer term investment, as a hold. Wouldn't necessarily expect immediate reactions for like a quick trade opportunity. This weekly level could be, well, no, we're threading that needle pretty well. I think that's close enough. Let's see, what's the low on these? 12, 31, 12, yeah, 4 cents. That's pretty much a hit. All right, so I like that as a first downside target, that considered. Not done a lot of charting down in these lower levels, clearly, because I don't have a lot of support and resistance, only some weekly and daily levels. So I'm guessing I've not looked at this on the 4-hour down in this range previously, but this 1165 level definitely looks interesting, and certainly one that I would keep on watch as a price target for a downside trade plan. Third target could this actually looks like a pretty decent level right here. It's just above that daily level, actually. Or do we shift that just a little bit? Yeah, I think that that's good there. So it could go as low as 1082 on this downside trade plan. Stop loss average down. We use this weekly level. That should be pretty solid. Upside, where does that become interesting? 15 seems like it's a awfully long way away. We will flip things on the 4-hour. We've got a good confluence here at 1443. We flip a lot of things back to the bullish side, actually, if we can break over that. Yeah, we could take a shot at this. We're gonna have another kind of overlap with our stop losses, but that's fine. That is what it is. I think that gives us a shot at 1512. Over 1512. Again, I could make an argument for making a small adjustment on this daily level, setting that as our second price target. Third target. 1621, 1615. We're within 10 cents. It's close enough. So again, make sure that, again, we're not always waiting for these levels to hit exactly to the penny. It's I've said this, I don't know how many times in the past, but it's probably been a while since I've mentioned it. It's a lot easier to get a good fill on your exit if you go to sell your positions as the price is moving in your favor versus waiting for it to like hit and possibly reject. So, go ahead, scale out, take your profits, move your stops up, and continue to do that the whole way up. If you're working with a smaller account and you only have one contract to work with, then just work on taking those base hits and moving on to the next trade plan and build your account to the point where you can start to, while maintaining good risk management, take larger position sizes as far as greater than one contract. So this is what our I think that's the current version. 1443 up to 1512 and then 1566 and 1621 with a stop loss at 1399 with a put entry at 1370, 1227, 1165 and 1082. Stop loss at 1418. There we go. Yeah, so this does need a little bit of an adjustment just so it's not... Again, that'll happen when we're working with tickers that are... Wait a second, do I have 13? No, I did. Sorry. I grabbed the wrong level there. Put entries actually 1345. There we go. That looks better. And those labels look pretty good now. because we're working with a smaller dollar ticker. So small adjustment there. Let me spread this out so hopefully it's kind of easier to read with those overlapping stop loss average down levels. But here is the trade plan. Also, don't forget to check these risk reward setups, PT1 being the key one. As long as we're over 1.5 to 1, pretty good shape. That's an A to A plus setup. 2 to 1 is really A plus, I would say. So keep that in mind as you decide your starting position sizes on some of these trade plans. So, all right, let's go. This is our American Airlines live. Whoops. Let me spell the word live correctly. Live stream plan. And get this posted in YouTube. And, of course, over in the Elite chat so we can set our alerts. Oops, forgot to say everyone. So people know. All right, there we go. Copy message link. Let's get our alerts set. I hope you all are taking notes for those of you who are using this trade plan navigator indicator that I've made available to Xtrades members. Look at how I'm using it as far as creating these indicator templates, creating these alerts. This is how it's going to make your life and staying on top of your trade plans so much easier. 3, 6, 25. Create. Okay, alerts are good. Oh man, you know what I keep forgetting to do though? Keep forgetting to change my chart time frame and changing this to regular trading hours. Let me fix that real quick before we go too much further. My apologies. Oh, AAL live stream plan. We're going to delete that one. I'll go back and fix the other ones outside the stream. I keep forgetting about that. All right, that looks good. So now let's talk about our plan. What are we looking for here on American Airlines? We're looking for a break above 1443 to play upside targets at 1512, 1566, and 1621 with a stop loss average down at 1399. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 1345. That should give us targets at 1227, 1165, and 1082 with a stop loss average down at 1418. Those are your American Airlines live stream plans. Let's go. All right. We should have time for at least one more. Let's see. Got a feeling the market going to do something weird today. Yeah. Sorry, let me catch up on the chat here real quick, folks. Yeah, that's the market that we're in at the moment for sure. More extreme this time. Do you think you might do a learning video? Yeah, I am going to do a tutorial video on how to use the trade plan navigator. I just wanted to go ahead and get it into people's hands first because I think it's pretty easy to pick up and use, but it'll be a quick, probably 5 to 10 minute video on how to use the trade plan navigator or take full advantage of it, I should say. But yeah, that's totally free for any Xtrades paying Xtrades members. So please reach out to Chris, reach out to me. Let us know if you'd like access to this. If you don't already have a TradingView account, DM me or DM Chris. Let us know. We'll help you get set up with a TradingView account, and then we'll show you how to get access to the trade plan navigator. Whoops. No thanks. All right. So what was our next trade plan? I thought I saw another request in the mix here. We just did American. We did Bob. Not sure. Oh, JD. Got it. Sure, Chris. Let's take a look at JD for you. All right. Let's clean this chart up real quick. Is this Yeah, it's getting pretty... Oh, no. This one's been higher than that, hasn't it? Yeah, okay. All right, let's take a look at this real quick. Let me get my bearings. This is one that I don't know if I've ever, I think I've done some charts and some trade plans for it. I don't think I've ever personally traded. What is JD? Remind me. Should know this. This is like a Chinese retailer, isn't it? Yeah, Chinese retail. Okay. China ticker's very popular this morning. So let's take a look at what's going on here with JD. $49.22. Interesting level. We got very close to that yesterday. Yeah, these Chinese candlestick charts are just so crazy to look at. It's like gaps everywhere in these little tiny candlesticks. Does get to be a little bit hard to read the price action, but with enough practice, you can kind of start to read between the lines on this stuff. 44.80. We just filled, although I don't know how much of an actual gap that is. That is an interesting test of resistance as support, though, that we're seeing here pre-market. God, this chair is so squeaky. You know what? I'm gonna go to stand mode at my desk because I can't. That's driving me nuts. Sam, do me a favor. Shoot me an email to this email address, and I'll do what I can to help you out. All right, so let's see here. JD, what do we want to do with you? I gotta tell you, I kind of like it. I kind of like it as a buy the dip. Question is, though, if it's a little too far. All right, let me think through this. I'm just going to start marking these levels. We'll figure out how we want to use them in a moment. I like that as a first downside target if 43.53 does give way. I like a second target there at that weekly level at 37.95. Yeah, and I like this. What is that? 35.51. It's a third downside target. Stop loss on this downside trade plan. Let me look at this hourly chart real quick. Thinking probably somewhere near this 45.05 level, but let's make sure. Yeah. Could maybe give it a little bit more room, actually. Now I'm looking at this. I'd say your stop loss needs to sit right at about 45.39. We're going to play that to the downside. Upside trade plan. This is the one that kind of sit here and keep scratching my head and debating between a couple of possible entries. Potentially, yeah. This So we're going to talk about how to approach this one from there's a few different opportunities that I'm seeing kind of all within the same levels that we're putting on the chart here. The big question is, though, does this just absolutely take off over 49.22? That's what I really want to know. Interesting. Okay, here's what I think we can do here. Set that up as our stop loss for this upside plan. It's going to be pretty close to being just a dead on 1-to-1, so not an ideal risk reward setup. Yeah, there's a level sitting right here. I don't think it's a weekly level, but there's something sitting right here that we're going to want to pay attention to. Whoops, there we go. All right, over that, I've got to fill in some blanks here. Yeah, I do like this as a second target. Pretty close to that gap there, so I like that. And technically, at least as far as our markets are concerned, there's a gap to fill up to 52.80. All right, so let's map this out and let's talk about this. Let's see where it's sitting pre-market. Yeah, it's a little too far removed now. So what I was hoping for is that let me map this out, then we'll talk about it. I'm trying to get too far ahead of myself, I think. All right, so we're looking for 47.31, 48.83, 50, 54, and 52.80, 45.99, stop loss 43.53, 40.12, 37.95, and what is that, 35.51? Yeah, 35.51, stop loss for that, 45.39. All right, so let's talk about this without all these extra drawings on the chart. Let's throw this on. Okay, so here's kind of what I'm thinking. If we get another good test of 43.53, I do like that as like a potential buy the dip level. I think that dip might already have been bought. So, essentially, we're kind of watching the opportunity that I was seeing as we were putting together this plan play out. It's already bounced pretty quickly as we were doing this trade plan right up through there. So if we get another test of that, though, I think that's a good buy the dip opportunity. I think if you take that buy the dip opportunity, you can shoot for this call entry as a first price target. The only thing you would need to adjust for that entry is a better stop loss average down, which I would which I would put right at about 42.10 off this previous. Oh, duh. You know what? I'm gonna do something kind of weird here. Let's see. This indicator's not built for this, so. Okay. That actually worked better than I thought it would. So kind of ignore this being the quote-unquote shared stop-loss average down. This is more your buy-the-dip stop-loss average down. If you take this buy-the-dip idea, stop-loss average down there, PT1 up here at the call entry. So, again, that's kind of a re-engineering of kind of the plan as we're going to prescribe it. So let's talk through the general plan, but I wanted to talk about that buy-the-dip entry. Again, we may have already seen the opportunity play out as we were putting this trade plan together. Still does have a little bit more room to the upside, but I wouldn't chase up here. Again, we're running now into resistances, so wait for supports to go long and exit at resistances versus trying to, buy the potential top, essentially. All right, so let's talk through this trade plan real quick. What are we looking for here on JD? We're looking for a break above 47.31. That should give us price targets at 48.83. 50.54 and 52.80 with a stop loss average down at 45.99. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 43.53. That should give us targets at 40.12, 37.95 and 35.51 with a stop loss average down at 45.39. Those are your JD trade plans. So let's get this link set up. Let's get this posted in here. JD live stream plans. Boom. Oh, I probably should have posted that first before I talked through the whole thing, huh? All right, and let's get this in the elite, everyone. Boom, boom. And now I can grab my Discord link. Come over here to the trade plan navigator. Cool, that's good. Okay, let me not forget to do my, before we set our alerts. And this is the JD live stream 3/6/25. All right. So alerts are set. We've already talked through that trade plan, so we should be good to go. We are about 15 minutes, actually just less than 15 minutes from market open. So with that, I think we're going to wrap up this morning's FOMO live stream. I hope you all learned quite a bit this morning, and I hope you all walk away with some very profitable trade plans from the time we spent together today. We will be back next Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So with that, I want to thank you all for spending some time with me here this morning. I do appreciate your time and attention. I will be around in the chats throughout the day today, so I will see you all there. In the meantime, as we always say on the FOMO live streams, plan your trades, trade your plans. Go out there, get some green, keep your wins big, keep your losses small. I will see you all in the chats. Have a great day. Have a good rest of your week and a great weekend. We'll be back next Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, take care, everybody.